Hello, guys. What's going on? How you guys doing? I'm Arman, and today we're going to interview Mitch Russo, the owner of Clientfolio. How you doing today, Mitch?
Fantastic. How are you, Arman?
Doing amazing. I'm very excited. We're going to be talking about Clientfolio and a lot of cool things that it's doing. But first, how did it start, client for you? How did Clientfolio start? What was the origin of it?
Sure. Well, as you know, I'm a business coach, and I work at a very high level. I've had clients for over 20 years, and I've done other work. I mean, I've started and sold companies, but my passion is helping others do just that: start, grow, and have that liquidity event that all entrepreneurs want in their world. So as I'm doing that, as my business is getting more and more busy, I decided it was time for me to find a coaching platform to help me manage all of my client interactions. And so I set out on a search, and I literally subscribed to four or five, six different platforms. And I kept trying to use them, but I kept running into almost all of them had the same problems. They were so difficult to learn and set up that there were times when I didn't even want to bother. If it was like after the fourth or fifth one, I said, you know what? I'm not even interested in trying anymore because this is going to take several hours of watching videos and then trying to turn off stuff I don't want. And all I really want is a simple system that lets me connect with my clients, save time between sessions on admin, and move on to the next session rapidly.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it takes time. Like it's always, we forget a lot of times, well, this tool sounds amazing, but how long till I learn it? How long till I can use it? And there's many challenges there. Thankfully, for example, I know for yours you have, videos and stuff explaining a lot of the things. But Mitch, why do you think your platform that helps coaches, basically manage their time and be more productive, um, why do you think your platform is better than everything else out there?
Well, everything sits on one browser window, everything. So you can open up your browser window. You can start a session 2 minutes before the session actually starts. You can click on any past session date and see all of your notes, all of your homework, all of your accountability questions, all of your goals and strategies, all for each client individually in 2 seconds just by clicking on the date of their last session. Now, maybe other platforms have that. I couldn't find it in any of them, number one. And number two, it took me off of the page that I was on when I tried to do it before. I wanted it all on one page because I didn't want to be messing around with five applications open on all these different windows. So it was important to me to have everything as simple and accessible as possible. Even the scroll boxes, even the text windows that you type in are sizable, so you can literally keep it above the fold if that's what you want. You don't even have to move the window down. It's all there. Everything's accessible, and you get basically an immersive experience with your client. And I will say that I had one person who tried the software. They said, I really like it, except I don't know how to type. And I said,
Wow.
okay, that's a problem because you're going to need to take notes. After all, you're going to need to assign homework. And the bottom line is that if you can't type, then you can't take notes and you can't assign homework. So anyway, that was my goal in setting it up. There was one other goal I'm going to mention as well. I use some fairly advanced techniques to get higher results from my clients. And it's not like they're hard to do. It's just that organizing them can be difficult if you're not using a product like Clientfolio.
Mm.
So here's an example. I have a library of accountability questions in categories that are
Wow.
already set up in advance. And when you start using Clientfolio, you get all of my accountability questions that if you want to use them, you can. And then you get to assign accountability questions individually to each client, and they will pop up right on your session screen when you're ready. And you can answer them directly while you're with your client. And by the way, if there's a few that don't get answered, you can exclude those from your homework so that when you send it, you're only showing them the questions asked and the questions answered as well.
That's that's super powerful. It's a mix of uh, what a coach needs, and then tens of years of experience in coaching, put that into their. So that's perfect. A lot of times we forget, it's like having, and I can see this becoming bigger where let's say we have Tony Robbins, or which I know you worked with the past, put his own accountability questions, and you can have all these big coaches like you having all their accountability questions, and maybe all their the other insights that they have into your coaching practice. That just elevates your game to a whole new level.
Well, it also goes a little bit further. Let's say you have a course, and let's say you're taking your clients through your course on a weekly basis. Let's say you have a cohort of students that you're taking through a course. Well, you could set up categories for your accountability questions, and a category might be module 1 or module 2. So you could have a set of accountability questions for each module in your course. So there's many ways to use this very powerful feature, but there's one other very important piece of this that is important to mention. And here's what that is. It's one thing to ask accountability questions and get answers, but it's a completely different thing to literally check numerical goals on every session as well. So one of the features of Clientfolio is a graphics-based system where you can, every time you're in session, record up to 6 numerical statistics that you are helping your client track. And you know what? We don't do what we're not held accountable to do. Unfortunately, us humans tend to forget or be lazy. And unless we're being held accountable, and in some cases numerically, we're simply not going to achieve it. So I'll give you an example. In my goals system, I can set individual goals no matter what type of client I have. So for some clients, it might be sales, it might be profits, it might be LinkedIn visits. For other clients, if I were a nutrition coach, it might be calories, it might be steps, it might be minutes of exercise. And the whole idea is once you collect these, after 3 or 4 weeks of collecting them, the system produces beautifully rich graphs that you can then include in your homework when you send that to your client after each session, to literally show them the progress they are making every single session. And that, to me, I mean, without these tools, we don't really know if we're making progress. But here's the other benefit of this. As you start using these tools, your clients will perform at a higher level. When your clients perform at a higher level, you can charge more money. And since you're saving about 30 minutes per session on admin, because Clientfolio is doing all that for you, you now have space in your calendar to add more sessions. So in a sense, Clientfolio can, if depending on what you charge by the hour, Clientfolio might make you an extra $40, $50, or $100,000 a year.
Totally. And yeah, honestly, you hit on my favorite feature, which is the reports that you generate. Like at the end of the session, my coach is using Clientfolio, and she's sending me those reports with everything we talked about, my points, what is my homework, and then it's super clear. Like not only as a user, but as a user, coach user, but as an end user of a coach, I love seeing what is my homework, what do I have to do for the next week. That's amazing. And it's all formatted with her logo and everything. It makes her look like way more premium, period. Like
Exactly.
it just elevates you, differentiates you. Like who does that? Like honestly, let me ask you that question, Mitch. Who do you know that sends such a cool formatted feedback after each session?
Yeah, I think a lot of coaches will send a quick email after each session with a few bullet points of homework to be done. But when you have a logo imprinted, perfectly formatted report that goes out every single week to your clients for every session that you have, it really elevates your brand. And after all, we're all here to build a brand. And if you're a coach and you have this beautiful report that you get every week that your clients can either interact with directly, right inside that report, there's a button that you can click on if you have questions about your homework, which create a private communication channel between you and your coach. And if you're the coach, you say, well, geez, I don't want to get all these messages. You could turn that off. But the reason that you want to have it on is because if your client sends you an email, it's going to get lost in the shuffle because we all get hundreds of emails we don't read every day. So I'd rather have a closed loop system where I can communicate with my client directly through the homework emails that I send. And that's a really powerful feature.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. So I think we covered, a lot of things about what Clientfolio is right now. I think there is really not much comparison out there. But what features are coming up that can get us very excited for people that are actually now customers, or people that want to get in and they want to hear about the future?
Sure. Well, you know what? I've been a software developer for several decades now, and I love getting feedback from clients. The other day, I got a message from a client from Australia who said, it's okay the way it is, but if you could change this one field to, instead of saying zip code, to say zip/postal code, that would be great. Next morning, that person woke up and there it was. It was changed overnight. Because I love to thrill my clients. And if I can make a change quickly to help someone, particularly if that change will help others, not just them, it makes it even more fun. But here's what's coming very soon. Right now, we have what I would call a coach-facing system. The coach sits down, they start their session, they get into Clientfolio, they do all of their notes and admin and all of their homework assignments right in Clientfolio. And then they send, as we said before, that beautifully branded email that your clients will receive and then could download as a PDF if they want as well. But here's what's coming in the next few weeks. In the next few weeks, we're going to be opening up a portal for clients. So when a coach sends a client an email with your homework, the client can then click on a button and open up a separate portal where they could review all their past homeworks, where they could enter their own goals and stats, where they could answer their own accountability questions, and they can even set the date of their next session or change it. So this is an exciting, powerful feature. There are other software products out there that have these client portal sort of arrangements, but they're several $100s a month. Some of them are, the ones I've looked at were $397 a month to use. And you know what, if you're doing 40, 50,000 a month, that's probably not a big deal. But you know what, that's not who all of my clients are. So we priced it and we'll continue to price it very low at $19.97 a month. And that's because we want everybody to have access to fantastic software that will accelerate and propel their business.
Yeah, I think, I can see myself as an end user of a coaching service, how powerful that can be, where I can log in, see all the previous homework. Okay, great. Let's say I'm finished with this week's homework. Well, I'm sure I have lots of things from previous weeks I haven't done. And, a lot of times preparation, helping the coach prepare before the call. If I could input all my stats before the call, we would actually spend more time coaching instead of, okay, what happened this week, right? We don't want that what happened this week to take time. If that gets away, this is, I'm getting way more quality time with my coach, and that's amazing. That's just going to be leading to more results, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's super powerful. I'm very excited.
Well, that's cool. I also want to cover one more small thing because this question
Yes.
has come up many times. One of the questions was, this is great. I'm using it. I love it. Now I want to bring all of my coaches on board Clientfolio. Does the system support multiple coaches? And the answer is yes, but we go one step beyond that. Not only do we support multiple coaches, you as the owner of the coaching company will get to sort of watch over their shoulder through our entire productivity reporting system, where you can see all of the homework, all of the assignments, all of the next session dates of all of your coaches all on one screen. That, by the way, is a very powerful, very high-end feature that normally costs a lot more money. That's included free. Now, I will say this, it's $20 per coach per month. So if you have 5 coaches, it's $100 per month to run an entire coaching company with 5 coaches. To me, that's still a great bargain and far less than you'd spend with other systems.
Totally agree. Mitch, well, thank you so much for your time. Any last words that you want to add? But this was wonderful to have you here.
No, I just want to let you know that the pace of our additions to new features and improvements will not stop. It'll probably accelerate. I love what I do. I love my clients. I love my software, and I have no pressure to try and make something different than it is. I don't have investors. I don't have a board that tells me that I can't do something or could do something. I am doing this. This is my passion. This is a labor of love for me, and I will continue to do it and make it the best system in the entire world.
Wow. Wow, so powerful. So powerful. Not everybody can say that. Let me just end with that. Not everybody can say that. Thank you so much, Mitch, for your time, and we'll see you a different time.